Dirty dealings, corporate battles, consumer woes. This is Evening 5. Prime Minister Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim said Putrajaya will study the impact of the decision by Japanese rail firms to opt out of the Kuala Lumpur-Singapore high-speed rail project. Anwar, who's also the finance minister, told the press that he had just received the report on the matter. Japanese agency Kyodo News, citing government and company sources, said today that the firms, including East Japan Railway Co., had hoped to utilise Japan's Shinkansen bullet train system in the project, but they have reportedly decided it will be too risky without the Malaysian government's financial support. Putrajaya intends to promote the 100 billion ringgit project through private financing rather than government spending. The report noted that the development could allow rival Chinese businesses to further solidify their footprint in infrastructure building in East Asia. Its sources reportedly said several local companies plan to join hands with Chinese and European firms to make bids, which have to be submitted by next Monday. Putrajaya is set to narrow down candidates within several months and will start full-fledged talks with the Singapore government later this year at the earliest. The 350-kilometre-long high-speed rail link would cut travel time between Kuala Lumpur and the city-state to just 90 minutes, compared with over 4 hours by car. Transport Minister Anthony Loke said MYAirline needs to settle refunds and staff wages before trying to get back in the air. According to a Bernama report, the carrier had inked a sale and purchase agreement with a Middle Eastern investor last month, with plans to restart operations by the middle of 2024. It also said that following the entry of the new investor, MYAirline had initiated the process of applying for a conditional air service license with MAVCOM, thereafter uplifting the air operator certificate from CAM before obtaining a full air service license to operate. Loke told the Newswire that his ministry would be meeting MYAirline today to find out more about the deal and its status. He also said that regardless of who the investor is, the airline license must still be at least 51% held by Malaysians. MYAirline announced the suspension of its flight operations starting October 12, 2023, citing financial pressures less than a year into its operational tenure. IGM Corp announced 2 property-related developments today, a further investment in the warehousing logistics sector in Malaysia and a property site acquisition in the UK. In a statement today, IGM said it inked a share sale agreement with logistics provider Swift Haulage and Hartamas Mentari, acquiring a 25% stake in Global Vision Logistics, which is developing the Shah International Logistics Hub. The centre is set to be one of ASEAN's largest and Malaysia's first green certified logistics hub, with the first phase to be completed next year. Plans for the second phase are underway, bringing the total warehouse space to about 6 million square feet. Meanwhile, its property arm IGM Land has purchased the freehold interest of the historic shredded wheat factory site in Hertfordshire County's Welwyn Garden City, north of London. The 11-acre brownfield site has been approved for 811 homes and 150,000 square feet of mixed-use space. This development will feature a well-planned park and integrate the site's original 1920s architecture. IGM Group CEO and MD Lee Chun-Fai said the investments reflect its strategic vision to strengthen IGM's footprint in the logistics sector and international property development. IGM shares dipped 1% to 2 ringgit 9 sen, valuing it at 7.62 billion ringgit. Ranhill Utilities announced the renewal of its license by the National Water Services Commission or SPAN to treat and supply water to consumers in Johor for the next 3 years. In a filing today, the group disclosed that its subsidiary Ranhill SAJ received a letter from SPAN on January 10th, notifying it of the renewal for the 6th operation license. Issued under the Water Services Industry Act 2006, Act 655, the renewed licence is effective from January 1, 2024 to December 31, 2026. Ranhill SAJ is Johor's exclusive provider of source-to-tap water. The company currently manages 46 water treatment plants with a total capacity of 2,300 million litres per day of treated water in Johor, serving approximately 3.8 million local residents through a network of 23,000 kilometres of pipes. Shares in Ranhill Utilities were 5.7% higher at RM1.12, bringing the group's market capitalisation to RM1.47 billion. Tomei Consolidated has called on the government to reconsider its decision to implement the high-value goods tax at the rate of 5 to 10% from May 1, 2024. Managing Director Dato' Ng Yee Peng told the press today that there's been no word from Putrajaya on the threshold or the details of the new tax. He warned of the negative impact that would come with the implementation of such a tax, saying more tourist arrivals are expected from this year onwards, with the liberalisation of visas for China and India, and that jewellery would be appealing to them. Ng said he still believes GST is the way forward. Last year, Prime Minister Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim said the new tax would apply to high-value items such as jewellery and watches that exceed a certain price threshold. However, it is understood to be applicable only to Malaysian taxpayers in order to promote inbound tourism. Meanwhile, Tomei remains optimistic about its outlook for 2024, adding that it will continue its strategy to provide more improvised products and expand some existing stores. It also forecast gold prices to remain bullish this year.